Olya, thank you so much for being a part of our panel. This was actually your first panel when you sat down with a bunch of creatives to discuss some sustainable issues. How was it?
Unbelievably interesting and inspiring, because we're so used to low-hanging fruit, which is the carbon emissions, that we forget about actually changing consumer behavior. And I think this is an incredible topic and a huge opportunity. So I'm actually delighted we start doing it and doing it in Cannes, where all the creative people are. So hopefully that's going to make an impact.
Yep, that's the place. So you mentioned that you are a marketing person, obviously, and you're not a sustainable person per se, right? So
I mean, I'm sustainable, I think, but not
you're
sustainability.
Not in sustainability. Yeah, correction.
Correction.
Do you think that we need to educate marketing generalists better so that we can actually become this real driving force behind all the sustainable behavior change that we need to act on so urgently? Or do we need to bring more sustainability specialists into the marketing world so that they can be those drivers of change for us as an industry?
I think it's about you need to teach someone to fish, yeah? This is the same story here. I think you need to bring sustainability experts in the beginning to educate marketers, because if you think about a couple of latest studies were done by WFA looking at what is the skill set of the future CMO, and the skill set is changing. Sustainability is there on the list. So the reality is that every marketer has to have sustainability knowledge to some extent. So I think we need to bring those people in, educate us, so then this becomes a part of our capabilities, so now our skill set toolbox.
Again, some sort of advice for marketers. How do we make sure that these sustainable choices happen consistently? Because there might be this urge to use traditional marketing instruments that might be less sustainable. For example, the packaging stuff that we have mentioned here. Sometimes what is sustainable is less flashy, fluffy, appealing to our audiences, right? And then yet we need to make that change and we need to go for sustainable behaviors. So as marketers, how do we really do that?
I think it's about looking at an overall strategy. Because sustainable choices should not be driving a decline or lack of growth. Like sustainability should drive growth, because exactly, again, as we discussed on the panel, brands who will be able to change consumer behavior and influence, because people are looking for sustainability, are going to be those brands that are going to differentiate themselves from the rest of the pack. And differentiation means growth. It's a brand power that you drive.
Default.
Exactly. So to me, I think ultimately you are driving consumer behavior change, which is positive, which drives differentiation and growth. So every choice in the end drives business outcome. It might take longer to arrive there because some decisions and options are obvious, some are not, like packaging, and much longer. It takes longer to arrive there, but in the end, I'm sure it will drive positive
One of
change.
the words that were used at the panel that sort of stood out to me was desirability. How do we make sustainable choices more desirable?
It's an interesting one. I think that, again, good study by Google, saying that 81% of people believes that we are moving towards sustainability catastrophe. 45% out of these people not sure what their choices, whether their choices are sustainable or not. So I think the desire is there. I don't think there is a problem with desire. I think there is a problem with education. And if you look at younger generations, they're even having stronger desire towards sustainability and more respect towards brands who are driving it. Look at Vinted, as one of the fashion choices. Look at eBay, who's driving as well fashion choices. Look at brands like in Netherlands, like everyone uses recycling for bottles. It's there. Just make it simpler for people. Educate them on how to do it, where to do it, when to do it, and then we're going to drive better change.
And us as an industry as well, so we need that education
We need that education indeed, but I think while people need education on behaviors and how to act, we need education on what are our choices and our tools to make it happen in both creative side and media side, and then of course in other aspects like the product itself, but also I think we of course as an industry need to realize we will be working with a lot of biases. For example, around pricing. People do perceive sustainable products being more expensive, so it's on us to kind of debust some of the myths potentially, or work hard as a variety of categories to make sure that those sustainable choices are not most expensive.
Okay, final cheeky question. When
Yeah.
I meet you next year in Cannes, so Cannes 2025.
God, am I going to be
Hopefully.
here? Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, just positive vibes.
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what would be the key change that you would like to see happen?
I actually would like to arrive here and already know that we had a few conversations as advertisers, agencies, and like tech companies,
Yep.
and at Net Zero in organized way, and we have more standardized measurement, and we actually have more standardized rules for creativity and sustainability that we agreed on. So I think if we could have some sort of framework by the time that we not just agree on, but we also act upon, that would be brilliant. Even if it's a starting point, but at least we know we all signed up for it, or a lot of us signed up for it.
Okay, so let's sign up for it. Thank you so much and have a brilliant time in
Thank
Cannes.
you for having me.
Thank you.